Whether you are here in the sanctuary or joining us online, whether this is your very first time or you have been here since we first opened our doors, welcome. We are so glad that you are here. Is this mic on? All right. I'll give the tech team a second to get that worked out. I think it's on now. All right, so welcome. I'm glad you're here. I would like to remind everyone that this service is being broadcast live and images of the congregation may be shared on Facebook and YouTube. If you do not wish to be on social media, please take a seat at the back of the sanctuary at one of the tables. Please refrain from talking while we are live, as the house microphones may pick up your conversation and broadcast it to the wider world. And please silence your cell phones and other electronic devices. Our building is on Shaver Road in Portage, Michigan, on the ancestral lands of the Peoria and the Potawatomi people. We pay our respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. Ours is a little brick church with a rainbow flag and a Black Lives Matter banner out the front, because we believe that love is love, and it is our responsibility to dismantle white supremacy culture and build a beloved community that benefits us all. Our church is served most Sundays by our minister, the Reverend G. Ludwig McCartney, but as we are a community on diverse spiritual journeys, on other Sundays, we enjoy hearing differing viewpoints from guest ministers, lay leaders, and guest speakers. Today's service is a group effort involving many UUCC members and friends, and will be a bit different than usual. There will be no sermon. We will not take an offering either, though you are always welcome to place your donation in the basket back at the welcome table after the service, or use our online giving options if you prefer, or if you're joining us virtually. We will mark the winter solstice today with stories and poems and meditations and songs inspired by a winter solstice singing ritual by Julie Forrest Middleton and Sasha Morgan Appel. There are a few spots in the service where you will be invited to sing along. The words will be up on the screen, And you can add a little rhythm with your egg shaker or your ribbon when the time comes. You should have received a candle at some point today when you came in, because we'll be lighting those during the service. If you do not have a candle and would like one, please raise a hand and somebody will come and bring it to you now. Oh, there's a couple. If you're watching us online, you may want to have a candle nearby so you can light it when the time comes too. I'd like to extend a special welcome to any visitors that we have this morning. We're glad you are here. We invite and encourage you to ask us any questions that you might have and look through the literature about our UU faith, which is displayed in the foyer where you came in or through these double doors into the community room. And please plan to join us for coffee and conversation after the service. If you are joining us on YouTube for the first time, welcome. We're excited that you tuned in. We invite and encourage you to attend the Zoom social hour following the service to get to know us better. You can find the link to social hour on our website, uucommunitychurch.org. While you're there, you can also find information about our church, about Unitarian Universalism, and about our programs for children and youth, and opportunities to connect with us during the week. On December 24th at 5 p.m., we will hold our annual Christmas Eve candlelight service to celebrate the warmth of the holiday season with traditional carols, readings, and of course, candlelight. This inclusive service welcomes people of all beliefs to share in the spirit and goodwill of the season. Fellowship and light refreshments will follow. And next Sunday, January 29th, we will hold our burning bowl ceremony at 10 a.m. Join us for an opportunity to release what no longer serves you and set some intentions for the new year. Finally, I would like to take a moment to thank everyone who is making this service possible. Our music director, Luke, our fabulous UU singers, our guest musician, David Brozovich, our tech team back there, our refreshments hosts, and of course, you. Now, let us center our hearts and minds for worship. Round and round the earth is turning, always turning from darkness to light. If it is yours to do, please close your eyes and let us breathe deeply together. In and out. In and out. In and out. Imagine, if you will, there are roots growing from your feet. Feel them growing down through the floor until they find Mother Earth below us. The earth is cool and damp this time of year. Feel your roots growing down into the soil, down into Mother Earth. Feel yourself breathing in that good, healing earth energy. In and out. In and out. In and out. With every in-breath, you feel that energy coming up your roots. Up your roots into your feet. Up into your legs and your hips. Up into your belly and into your chest. Feel it across your back and your shoulders. Then down your arms into your fingers. Then up again into your neck and into your face and out the top of your head. Feel the earth energy coursing through you. Feel it in your branches as they reach to the sky. We all drink the same water. We all breathe the same air. We are all rooted in the same earth. We are all warmed by the same sun. You may open your eyes when you are ready, but continue to feel your roots still in the earth. Feel them entangled with the roots of others in this community. And know, for right now, we are members of an earth-loving clan. We are a circle. And now I invite you to sing along with us, Lady, Spin Your Circle Bright. The choir will sing it through once, and then we'll all sing it through together. And because we are a circle, we will then try to sing it through as a round. So I think that we're going to split the center section in half, and we'll have half over here. You're going to be part 1, and half over here. You're going to be part 2. Sing along with the choir. The earth-centered pagan tradition is grounded in a respect and reverence for the natural world. It is customary in this tradition to begin ceremonies by creating a circle and calling upon the 4 directions, as those who came before us may have done. We cast a circle within a circle with no beginning and never ending. Just on the other side of the winter solstice In honor of the ancient traditions that celebrate the longest night, we light a chalice for the sun, which brings us light and warmth and life. It is beautiful and radiant in all of its splendor and power. We light a chalice The sun does not want to come out today, apparently. Now we light a chalice for the spirit of the East, for the air that gives us life, for sunrise and mornings, for the opportunities that come with each new day. We light a chalice for the spirit of the South, for heat and fire and energy, the promise of transformation and of change. We light a chalice for the spirit of the West, for water and rain, cool and soothing, flowing through our lives. And we light a chalice for the spirit of the North, the earth beneath our feet, rocky, ancient, strong and grounded in wisdom. Air in the east, fire in the south, water in the west, earth in the north. We call blessings down on them all.
Here our great mother robed in midnight, around whose head shines all the suns and the moons of the universe, as she is speaking to us, saying, "Blessed is the darkness, for in the darkness we conceive. Blessed is the light, for in the light we give birth. As conception is to birth, so darkness is to light. Know that both the darkness and the light, the sound and the silence, are sacred unto me, who is all creation."
Now imagine, if you will, a time maybe 50,000 years ago or more, when people were just beginning to emerge from the long sleep into a more conscious awareness of the world around them. Just now, they're noticing the passage of time. Just now, they're noticing a change in the air. And just now, perhaps, one among them is noticing that the sun, which used to rise over here and and move high across the sky and give light and warmth for long periods, now rises over here and isn't as high and doesn't stay as long in the sky. They wonder, will the sun continue to move away from us? Will it someday not come back at all? Will we have to live our lives in darkness? This is the time of the midwinter solstice, the time when the earth tilts away from the sun, so that for us in the northern hemisphere, the sun's visible time in the sky is shorter and the nighttime is longer. The sun rises farther south each day, and his passage is not as high overhead, but low in the sky. From time immemorial, people have recognized this time of the year when the earth tilts away on its axis away from the sun as monumental. Long before there were Muslims or Christians or Jews or Buddhists, sacred stories and religious ceremonies abound as people tried to ward off the cold of winter, tried to keep the flame for their fire alive throughout the long dark nights, and hoped for the return of the sun. Perhaps you have heard of the Kaliak, the old one, the cold one, the queen of winter. Her face is blue. Her teeth are like tusks. Her hair is white as frost. She is as ancient as the earth herself. She is the lichen-covered rocks and mountain peaks. She is the bared earth covered by snow and frost. She is our deep ancestress, veiled by the passage of time. Between Samhain on October 31st and Ostara, the first day of spring, the Kaliak tramps the land with her staff in hand and her creel, or basket, on her back full of heavy, mighty stones and boulders. As she makes her way, she casts the stones down upon the land and the water, transforming the highlands and the lowlands and the islands out at sea. She is often said to be riding a wolf across the winter sky with the winter winds, bringing snow and ice, searching for any trace of green and growing things that she will crush with her black thorn staff. Wherever the Kaliak strikes, the earth becomes cold and as hard as iron. While the Kaliak is abroad, the world is gripped by winter, and the promise of spring seems far, far away. In our culture, this time of year can be difficult. It's dark when we leave home in the morning. It's dark when we come home. The holidays, so commercialized and politicized, can bring a sense of discomfort and alienation. We may worry about money. We may worry about overconsumption. We may struggle with feelings of loneliness. We may feel overwhelmed by the expectations we place on ourselves. It is cold, it is dark, it is exhausting. We can feel the Kaliak's icy fingers on our necks. We are grieving, full of uncertainty and fear. We are waiting alone in the darkness of these days, afraid that spring may not come again.
Reading number 2, in celebration of the winter solstice by Stephanie Noble. Do not be afraid of the darkness. Dark is the rich, fertile earth that cradles the seed, nourishing the growth. Dark is the soft night that cradles us to rest. Only in darkness can the stars shine across the vastness of space. Only in darkness is the moon's dance so clear. There is a mystery woven in the dark, quiet hours. There is magic in the darkness. Do not be afraid. We are born of this magic. It fills our dreams that root, unravel, and reweave themselves in the shelter of the deep, dark night. The dark has its own hue, its own resonance, its own breadth. It fills our soul, not with despair, but with promise. Dark is the gestation of our deep and knowing self. Dark is the cave where we rest and renew our soul. We are born of darkness, and each night we return to the deep, moist womb of our beginning. Do not be afraid of the darkness, for it is in the depth of that very darkness comes the first glimpse of our own light, the pure inner light of love and knowing. As it glows and grows, the darkness recedes. As we shed our light, we shed our fear and revel in the wonder of all that is revealed. So do not rush the coming of the sun. Do not crave the lengthening of the day. Celebrate the darkness. Here and now, a time of richness and a time of joy.
The work of bringing forth winter and transforming the land is hard. The Kaliak's creel is nearly empty of stones and boulder, and the plaid, the shawl that covers her head and shoulders, is caked with mud. The Kaliak makes her way to Corbrecken, which means cauldron of the plaid. It is a mighty whirlpool churning in the ocean off the west coast of Scotland. When she reaches Corbrecken, she unwinds her shawl and throws it into the icy water and wades in after it. The water would be hundreds of feet deep for you and me, but for the Kaliak, it only reaches her ankles. And then she tramps on her plaid with her feet until the booming of the waves can be heard for miles around. When her shawl is clean and pure white again, she lays it on the mountaintops to dry, and the land becomes covered with a deep blanket of snow. This is when the Kaliak makes her way underground to refill her creel with stones and boulders. The Kaliak is the steward of the land in winter. She is the guardian of the wild beasts, the red deer, the herds of wild sheep, the wolves and the eagles. She takes her responsibilities very seriously. As she runs her hands over the rocks deep in the moist belly of the earth, she mulls over which stones she should take up, which ones will have the greatest impact, which ones should be left. As she fills her creel, she is careful not to disturb the seeds of new life that are also under the earth. She makes sure that they are protected and safe, encased in fertile soil, so when the time is right, they will be ready to grow. Now is the time of the midwinter solstice. The darkness has reached the peak of its power over the light. What will we do in the dark? In the dark, we can dream. We can prepare for what will come. What might the future hold for you? What burdens must you lay down to get to where you want to be? What challenges must you take up in order to succeed? In the dark, we can nurture our seeds. What are you a steward of? What possibilities must you keep safe and protected until the time is right? And of course, in the dark, we can celebrate. The ancient peoples recognized the need for celebration this time of year. The Celts lit fires and told stories and decorated with evergreen boughs. The Persians celebrated the sun god Mithra's birth with feasts and acts of charity. The Romans celebrated Saturnalia with gift-giving, food, noise, and merrymaking. The Hindus marked Lohri, and still do today, with bonfires and revelry. Perhaps the name of the holy day or the divine being honored is not as important as sharing the lightness and joy at the darkest time of the year. So we will light candles or burn a Yule log. We'll decorate our houses with light. We will sing. We will make merry. We will seek the spirit of a child to help light our way back into spring. We will count our blessings and give thanks.
All throughout these months, as the shadows have lengthened, this blessing has been gathering itself, making ready, preparing for this night. It has practiced walking in the dark, traveling with its eyes closed, feeling its way by memory, by touch, by the pull of the moon, even as it wanes. So believe me when I tell you, this blessing will reach you, even if you have not light enough to read it. It will find you, even though you cannot see it coming. You will know the moment of its arriving by your release of the breath that you have held so long, a loosening of the clenching in your hands, of the clutch around your heart, a thinning of the darkness that has drawn itself around you. This blessing does not mean to take the night away, but it knows its hidden roads, knows the resting spots along the path, knows what it means to travel in the company of a friend. So when this blessing comes, take its hand, get up, set out on the road you cannot see. This is the night when you can trust that any direction you go, you will be walking toward the dawn.
On the longest night, the Kaliak, who has hurled mighty stones, who has formed rugged landscapes, befriended wolves, rode the winter windstorm, created roaring tempests, now becomes a gentle midwife who will help bring forth new life. For deep within the earth, something tiny is glowing and growing with heat and light. It is Bridget, the spirit of the spring, who will take her first breath on the night of the winter solstice. Bridget is destined to take over the stewardship of earth on the first day of spring and watch over the land until Samhain, when the Kaliak once again emerge in human form. But right now, Bridget is only a tiny, tiny flicker of life. The Kaliak, the wise woman, the crone, the winter witch, stands watch at the birth and lends her wisdom and her experience to Bridget's emergence. The Kaliak is the midwife who ensures the season's smooth transition and the steady, unending rhythmic turning of the wheel of the year.
In the shadowed quiet of winter's light, earth speaks softly of her longing, because the wild places are in tears. Come, she cries to us, kneel down here on the frosty grass, and feel the prayer buried in the ground. Bend your ear to my heart and listen hard. Love this world, she whispers, distill peace from the snow, and waters the cities with mercy. Weave wonder from the forest and clothe grief with beauty. Rest in the rhythm of the turning year, trace the bending arc, rounding the curve toward justice, and vow anew to do no harm. The winter trees stand watch, haloed in the last gleams of the slanting sun. Glory sings here. Heaven echoes the call. Repeat the sounding joy. Make your life an answer.
Now let us spend some time sitting with what has been said. For those of you watching at home, we will put a candle slide on the screen, and there's going to be a long stretch of silence. Do not worry, you're not experiencing technical difficulties. We invite you to sit in silence and reflect. The work of stewardship and transformation is hard. There is more than one way to use your strength and power. Believe me when I say, you are the blessing we have been waiting for. Believe me when I say, your life is an answer. There is a light glowing and growing inside of you, a light of kindness, of empathy, of love. Like the Kaliak, you have the wisdom and the strength to bring light and life into the world. Now take a deep breath and reflect. What light do you bring to the world? What is stopping you from shining? What light do you bring to the world? What is stopping you from shining? Now, I invite you to take a candle into your hand, a solstice candle. The winter solstice was a night of ancient fear and ancient joy. Those who were gone before us were fearful of what lurked outside the ring of their fire, the ring of light and warmth. As we light our candles, we ask that the fullness of the flame protect each of us from what we fear the most and guide us towards that more perfect light and joy. May we each be encircled by the fire of warmth of love, by the flame of our kinship with one another, by community. On the night of the solstice, it was the ancient custom to exchange gifts of light, symbolic of the light of the new sun. So we too, today, will share a flame from candle to candle. As you receive the light, turn to your neighbor and share the flame. Then we can imagine how much brighter we are when we shine together. When all of our candles are lit, I invite you to come forward and use the flame to light one of the candles on our altar. We'll give it a try. You want to go from the candle out, and don't put your hand over the flames. Got it? All right. Light of star, light of candle, firelight, lamplight, love light. Let us share the gift of light. Sun, 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 let it come. You may blow out your candles. Though it's hard to see at first, starting today, the light has begun to return. The Kaliak is still abroad, of course, casting her boulders and stones into our lives. She will bring a few icy storms our way, too, before her time here comes to an end. But that is as it should be. The wheel of the year, the wheel of our lives, is both cold and warm, dark and light, filled with sadness and with joy, with time for action and time for rest, for birth, for death, for loss, for hope. In due time, Bridget will emerge, bringing us fair weather and blossoms. And then the Kaliak will head to the highlands and climb as far and as high as her old bones will allow. Then she will wrap her great plaid over her head and shoulders, tuck in her chin, close her eyes, and slowly turn to stone, so that she may soak up the warmth of the sun until the days begin to shorten again. And so we have journeyed with the Kaliak from the mountaintop to deep underground and back again. We dreamt in the darkness and nurtured sparks of light. We have each found our own light and remembered we shine more brightly when we shine together. We will blow out the candles on our altar soon, but we will not allow our lights to grow dim. We will carry the light with us always. We will carry it to our friends and our families. We will carry it to a hurting world. Lux and Terra, eternal light. Now, if it's yours to do, please close your eyes once again and let us breathe deeply together. In and out. In and out. In and out. Remember now that there are roots growing out of your feet, growing deeply into Mother Earth. Feel how good that healing earth energy fills you. Up through your roots, up through your roots, up through your branches, and up to the sky. We all dance in the same wind. We are all rooted in the same earth. We all drink the same water. We all need the same sun. Feel the earth. Feel the air. Feel the fire and the water. Feel the Spirit. Feel how each of us is part of the circle of life. A circle within a circle with no beginning and no ending.
The Shortest Day by Susan Cooper. And so the shortest day came, and the year died, and everywhere down the centuries of the snow-white world came people singing, dancing to drive the dark away. They lighted candles in the winter trees. They hung their homes with evergreen. They burned beseeching fires all night long to keep the year alive. And when the New Year's sunshine blazed awake, they shouted, reveling through all the frosty ages. You can hear them echoing behind us. Listen. All the long echoes sing the same delight, the shortest day, as promise wakens in the sleeping land. They carol, fest, give thanks, and dearly love their friends, and hope for peace. And so do we, here, now, this year and every year. Blessed Yule.
So it's now time to extinguish these flames, but the Spirit remain. Earth in the north, water in the west, fire in the south, and air in the east. Our ritual for the winter solstice has come to the end. Our circle is open, but remains unbroken. Merry meet, and merry part, and merry meet again. Blessed